this day God gives me strength, the high heaven, sun and moon shining, flame in my heart.
I hope you've enjoyed our web episodes. You know, I've heard a lot of positive feedback about the web episodes, but we need more people clicking our link and watching these because it gives a little special insight to the life of St. Vincent de Paul and some things that we don't cover on the show because we only have 30 minutes, but things that we want to share with you. And today we've got a real special story about an NBA star who was an SEC basketball MVP of the league one year that helps out uniforms for kids and is really caring about how kids are doing, not only here in East Baton Rouge Parish, but also in Point Capee. Mike, tell us a little bit about this star.
Like, yeah, it's Brandon Bass, who you mentioned some of who he is, but Brandon Bass is an individual, and I've had the pleasure of just getting to know him and work with him and actually folding him into the program to become a part of the Uniform for Kids, which is ultimately helping the children, and seeing how this came together. Brandon and by some mutual friends, we got introduced 4 years ago, I guess, and he was looking for a way to give back because he has been so successful. He was raised a single-parent life. I think he, through some of the upbringing, in a very poor family, and some with his aunt, and moving around households, and coming from such a background, and then having and enjoying the successes that he had, he wanted to give back. And I've got introduced, and as we slowly talked through this, I said, well, look, I got something that I feel that's, you know, we're doing, and it affects the same individuals, our children, so let's put together a basketball camp. So we put together a little basketball camp that we do, and one's in East Baton Rouge Parish, one's in West Baton Rouge, and one's Point Capee. And he comes in and we do that. We get them in, we give them a T-shirt, they sign up, they go through the drills for a half day, and then they're served lunch at the end. And we've done this, and it's, you know, well over 100 kids in these 3 parishes been received. The community comes out threefold to be a part of this and embrace it, and just watching the smiles on these children's faces, and even in Brandon I can see it, because he's not, you know, during his regular road games, he's playing for the Celtics now, he started at the Dallas Mavericks, went to Orlando, and now they're not exposed to any of this, you know, they're at a different level because of the media and what's expected of them, and having him come down to the roots and going into the communities like this and being a part, and then having some of his fellow players show up, Tasman Mitchell and Marcus Thornton and some of the old guys come and be a part of these camps, and these kids just to see their faces when they see these stars there. It's just incredible. It's priceless.
Well, you know, sometimes some of these NBA and NFL stars, they get a bad rap, but it's people like Brandon that it's remarkable that he cares enough and he wants to give back. Those stories don't always get the airtime, and I think that's why it's important for us to talk about that. Isn't that something we can all look up to? Brandon taking his time and talent to do that.
It is, and you're right. You hit it so, and usually they feel that, you know, and everybody feels that it's about money. You know, give me a check, give me a check. And in this particular case, when Brandon and I first started, I said, look, let's, you know, if you don't believe in the program, then don't be a part of it. So, you know, I mean, it was very important that we went down and walked the halls of St. Vincent de Paul, showed them what we did and the uniforms and how the program worked, show them the inventory and show them the processes to know what it was, because he had to believe in it. It's not about the check. It's not about that all comes with time, but it's about doing the right thing for the right purpose, which is ultimately rewarding to the self. And I see that in Brandon, because there's so many times when the one thing he doesn't have like everybody else is time. So how are you going to do something that can affect the most people? And this happened to be one that we could just plug him into his busy schedule and be a part of this, which was threefold back to him and achieving what he wanted to do.
Well, I look up to Brandon Bass, and because I'm 5'7", that's the reason. But I also look up to him because he's a wonderful person. I look up to you, Mike, too, because you're a wonderful person. People that are giving of their time and talent to make the world a better place. And whether you're an NBA superstar or you're a superstar in the financial world like Michael is, or whatever the case may be, you can make a difference. You can really care for somebody that needs a superstar superstars touch, that only people in need can really feel that touch and really feel the impact of someone caring enough about them to make a difference in their lives. So we encourage all of you to get involved with St. Vincent de Paul, become part of the spirit and ministry of making a difference in people's lives. We hope to see you again next week on another web episode.
Sun and moonshine.